everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different. No, you're not going mad. This isn't a WIP and a haul. I've decided to do a WIP parade because I haven't done one yet, and I think the first of my videos I did in 2020. So in March 2020 was the first time that I started doing floss tube. But I didn't do a WIP parade then because I didn't feel like I really had enough starts. So this year I thought I would start the year off with a WIP parade and show you what I finished, what I've got plans for in 2022, what I'm working on, any UFOs, why they've been UFO'd, and go from there. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm not too sure how long this video is going to be. I think this is going to be sort of a longer video than usual, but I've got my drink here. This is cranberry juice, not wine, although I wish it was wine. I just drink everything out of a wine glass. It's a very large wine glass, but all of my drinks I drink out of a wine glass. So I'm hoping that I'm not going to like throw this all over my desk and shatter all my work. So I'm not going to go into my WIPs in any particular order per se. What I am going to try and do though is kind of define them by the year that I started them. So I started actually my WIPs back in 2020. So I think I started actually stitching back in February 2020 because we got flooded out completely and we had to move out of the house for 2 weeks, and it was a bit of a nightmare. And being literally stuck in the house with 2 cats, not being able to go to work because I couldn't get my car, I kind of looked around to see what I could do craft wise that didn't really take up much space. So I was looking on YouTube and then I came across cross stitch. Now it's something that I've done relatively most of my life, but in spits and spats. So I haven't always, done cross stitch, but I thought it'd be a really good thing to get into. And today I did some stitching this morning, and then I did some hoovering and did some housework, and I've just ridden my horse, which was treacherous to say the least, tragic. She is coming back into work after having 5 months off, and she is like a pocket rocket. I mean, she's like a bit of, if you think of a bit of elastic that you're stretching and then you're going to ping it, that's how she feels under saddle. It's just a nightmare, but we're trying to take things slowly, and all she wants to do is canter. And realistically, what I'd love to do is take her for a blast, but I can't do that because she's not fit enough. I don't want to go in lame. I don't want her having back problems. So we're trying to introduce the work slowly, and it's a nightmare. So I'm absolutely shattered. But I thought, do you know what? Today would be a really, really good time to get this video done because it's Sunday evening. I've got a little bit of my WIP to do that was on my WIP Go that was for a whole entire week. So I had to do one project for 1 week, which is one of my numbers. And today I finished that before I go on to my next project tomorrow, which is the start of the week. So I thought, you know what, this is a good time to do a WIP parade so you can all see what I'm working on. Right, like I said, I haven't got any particular order with this. However, I am going to start with my finishes. That's always a good place to start. Now, I do need to double check the colours of certain threads because I know you're going to ask what colours I was using for what particular works I was doing. So, I haven't deleted them, have I? Maybe I have. I think because I've done it, I think I've deleted it out of my, hang on, unless I've got it in deleted. I don't even know where that would be. Anyway, I'm not too sure. So, if anyone wants to know the colourways, just pop a question in the comments box and I'll come back to you. So the first one I am going to show you, I actually opened all of these so I didn't have to do the whole zip thing, and I've just closed the zip. So bear with me 1 second. Right, so the first one that I want to show you is this one, which is from Stitch Class. It's from Etsy. It's a letter H, which is obviously my initial. And I started this back in, I think I started this in 2021. But it was actually one that I started and finished pretty quickly. God, I've got a really itchy nose. I'm so sorry. Right, so I'll try and find which way it goes. I think it goes that way. Right, so that is the completed project. Really, really gorgeous. A really kind of nice dusky pink. I love pink, especially dusky pink. Dusky pinks and kind of bright pinks I love. So that is the first one. And that is done on 28 counts, 2/2. And the material for that, the fabric that I use for that is Sparkly Snow, because I wanted it to be like really, really sparkly. And I got that fabric from Wool Warehouse. So that is the first one. And this is the second one. So from the same place, Stitch Class, and I got that from Etsy, and this is the letter V. So this is the other initial. And I did this one on 32 count because I think what I wanted to do with this one is put it in a frame, you know, like a little picture frame. Well, it'll be a little bit bigger than a sort of a photo picture frame. But basically I wanted to have this one put on the like put on a chest of drawers or something that will just be in a room. And this is the completed piece for that one. So I think that was, I know this blue began with a 5, the colourway, but I can't remember what else it was. It was done with CXC threads. I'm just checking, my candle's not setting fire to my wall over there. I don't think it is. No, it's good. Yeah, so I'm doing that one 32 count 2/2 on exactly the same fabric, Sparkly Snow, and I got that one from Wool Warehouse as well. Okay, so I know it's crazy, but I literally only had 2 finishes. So I am now coming on to the WIPs that I started in 2020. And in no particular order, I am just going to... Right, let me go with... Okay, so those are the ones that are finishes. And did I just say UFO'd? I didn't mean to say UFO'd. Right, so next are going to be my UFO'd. So the first one is, and this one I started back in 2020. So I'm doing another one of these as well, but I'm doing on 18 count. But I actually started this one on 25 count. This is Paris. Story Keep, Life is an Open Book, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I actually started this one first on 25 count and then decided I absolutely hated 25 count, and I still hate 25 count. Looking at it, I was thinking, oh, you know, could I go back to it? Originally, what I wanted to do is sort of finish this and then do like a comparison of 25 count to 18 count. However, I really am not loving this. So this is where I got to. I mean, I did a fair amount, to be fair. But yeah, just absolutely not loving doing it. And the detail's really good. I do like the detail, but I don't like how small the crosses come out, the X's, which is really stupid, really. It's really ridiculous, a really ridiculous reason. But if you don't like it, then you don't like it. And I'm actually finding that they feel quite bunched up. It's not, you know, in my opinion, I don't feel like they're, you know, nice and flat and neat. So that one, unfortunately, has been UFO'd. And that's been put to the side. But I will keep that out because I've actually started that another size, and I'll show you that. The second one that was UFO'd was Try and find it. Sanssouci. I've got a feeling that I didn't. Oh, hang on, it's in this one. I've got like 2 piles on my desk because I've got piles that I'm going to be doing, and then I've got piles that are my WIPs. So the next one that I UFO'd, but I will be restarting this at some point, but just in a different fabric, is Long Dog Sampler, Sanssouci. And I absolutely love this. I do really, 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 really love this. But I just wasn't happy with the way that it was coming out. Now, I started this on 28 count, I believe. Did I start this on 28 count? Or is this on 32 count? Right, I think this is on 28 count, 1/1. Or was it 32? I can't remember if I did this on 32 or 28 count. But what I have decided is I'm not happy with the coverage. So that's where I got up to. And I did this in the colourway 327, which is that purple colour. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of see-through there, and the coverage is not great. So I'm going to do this one again in 32 counts, 2/2. However, this is the 3rd time that I would be starting this, because if you've been following me a long time, you'll see back in my previous video, like last year, you know, right at the beginning, when I actually first bought this out, I started doing this in a variegated thread, 32 count. Oh no, I think this is 32 count. So I started doing it 32 count, 2/2 in a blue variegated thread, and I didn't like how it was coming out. So I decided that I was going to try 32 count, 1/1 in just like a monochromatic colour, 327. And I got like halfway through that and I didn't like that either. So this is one that I am going to restart. However, I'm not too sure when that is at the moment. Right, so moving on to my WIPs, because I've only literally just put 2 away that I'm not going to complete again, which is actually, you know, it's not bad going. It's just 2 that I've decided that actually I think my fabric count is wrong, or, you know, my stitch count is wrong. You know, I've got, you know, the wrong, I want to do it on a lower or higher stitch count, 2/2, or a lower stitch count. So going back to 2020, what I first started. Now, if I have got like a 20, so yeah, so this is going back to 2020. So at the beginning of 2021, if I have got a before of where I was at the beginning of 2021, I will pop it in the video. If I don't, then I won't have that. Because, like I said, I've only been doing the videos for like a year and a bit. So hopefully I will have something to show you. Right, so the first one I'm going to go to is, I am just going to do it in literally in the, like, I've got so much on my desk at the moment. So the WIP I come up to is the one that I'm just going to show you. It's just going to be so much easier because I've got literally, my desk is absolutely covered in everything. So the first one I'm going to show you is Peacock, oh no, hang on, is Bountiful Bookshelf, which is, I'm going to pull this one out. So I've been doing this one for quite a while. And if you follow me on my videos, you will know that I've been doing this for quite a while. I feel like I've not actually got anywhere. But if I did the before and after of, you know, beginning of 2021 to now, I'm sure that it would be like, oh my God, yeah, actually, I'm further than I thought. So, Heaven and Earth Designs, charted by, and then the artwork is by Amy Stewart. This is called Bountiful Bookshelf. I am doing this one on 18 count 2/1 full cross, and this is on like a Zweigart easy count, I think it's called. So I will have something to show you from where this was last year. So this is what it looked like last year at the beginning. And this is what it looks like now. Now this is one that is in my WIP Go, and it's in my rotation to work on next week. So the two numbers that were picked were 2 and 19. 2 was Alternative Reality and 19 was Bountiful Bookshelf. So on my WIP Go, I've got that I need to work on this for a whole entire week, and on my Alternative Reality for a whole entire week. So that is what I am going to be doing. I don't even know where to put these. I literally have run out of space. So that is that one. The next one is Grace Faces. Right, I definitely have some to show you for Grace Faces last year. And Grace Faces is this one. Again, this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's a Josephine wall. I absolutely love this. It's so beautiful. I'm doing this in CXT thread. In fact, all of my work is done in CXT thread. It's being done on 18 count 2/1. Again, I'm sure I have something to show you from the beginning of this year, well, beginning of last year, sorry. So what I'll do is I'll pop that in now. So this is what it looked like last year. And this is where we are now. I'm going to try and see if I can, bear with 1 second. Okay. So I've come quite a long way with this one. What I have found is that all of this here has been so confetti heavy. So it's just taking a long time to get here. But now I've got to this area here, I've got a lot more bulk colour. So what I should find is this one should get finished this year with some luck. I'm absolutely hoping that this gets finished by the end of this year. And then that's one that can be framed, and it can be put on my wall eventually in my new house. I'm just going to put this down here. Right, in fact, I've got my sewing machines here. I'm just going to move that over there. So I've got some space to put things. Okay, so that is Grace Faces. Right, my next one I'm going to show you is Alternative Reality. So again, I do have Alternative Reality to show you at the beginning of this year, because this is one I've been working on. Charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Josephine Wall, and I absolutely love this one. So like I said earlier, it came off my WIP Go as I had to work on this for a whole entire week, so that's what I've been doing. So this is what it looked like at the beginning of the year. And oh dear. And this is what it looks like now. I've got so much parked threads, guys, you're going to have to just forgive me. Okay, right. So that is where we are. This week I literally have just been concentrating on getting as much as that done as I can. But the problem is when you're filling in, you get so bored. I mean, I don't know if anyone else finds it, that when they're like filling in the blanks, it just bores me. So I ended up starting over here, and this is like, I think this is one page, and then this is a whole nother page. So although I didn't want to really go into another page, I just felt like I needed to do something else to stimulate me to work on this piece. I love working on it, don't get me wrong, but what I am finding is, because I'm solely working on this, I'm getting a little bit like, I feel like I've got cabin fever just working on one piece solely for a week. So those of you that only work on one piece and get it done, kudos to you, because I couldn't imagine anything worse. I think that's one of the reasons why I've decided to have quite a few WIPs this year, which I will explain in a bit, which is actually complete opposite to what I said in my WIP video, but I will explain later why that is. So that is being done on 18 count 2/1, and I hope to get at least 50% of that done this year. That's not going to happen, is it? Okay. I hope to at least get a quarter of that done. So at least if I can get a quarter per year by 2025, that will be completely done. So that is my plan for that one. The next one that I started earlier this year is band sampler. Twisted band sampler. Where are you? There we are. And this was charted by Northern Expressions. And this is one that I've actually just shown you on the WIP update and haul. So I've got to as far as all of the golds. And my next band is this green one here, with the flowers, like the darker green. But I haven't worked on it since my last WIP update. This is being done on 28 count 2/2, and it is on Sparkle Snow, which is the same material as I did the initials on, my initials. So there we are, that's where we are. So still got a bit to do on this one. Not doing too badly. I hope to get this one done by this year. That is certainly the plan. However, one thing I didn't mention in my last video was that this year is the year that we start building the stables for the barn in America. I am hoping that I'm going to have enough time to be able to do some stitching in the evenings. However, I've got a horrible thought in my head that in the beginning, in the day, I'm going to be helping build the barn, and in the night, we're going to be absolutely ditching out our RV and basically doing a whole renovation on it, unless there is any way that we can give like the work to the guys to do for the barn, and then me and my dad just concentrate on gutting the RV in the day, and then in the evening we just, I don't know, either I can cook something or we can go out for dinner, and then I've got some stitchy time in the evening. That's what I'm really hoping. But as much as these plans are, you know, I'm setting these plans and this is what I want to do, at the moment, I've got absolutely no idea what happens after March, because it's just, you know, it's like an unknown. I've never got involved with building a barn. I've never started my own business, anything like that. I've never renovated an RV. So it all depends on, you know, what happens with that as to sort of how often I'm going to be able to do some stitching. But I am taking my phone with me. I'm taking all of my video equipment. So I hope to still be able to do the videos. And, you know, even if I haven't got a huge amount of stitching, I can incorporate a little bit of, you know, the build progress and, you know, what we're doing with the RV and where we, you know, have got to and things like that. So it won't be, you know, you won't not have any videos, you know, monthly, but they just might be a little bit less stitchy and a little bit more, you know, what's going on, sort of life, if you like. Okay, so the next one that I started last year, which was actually, it got started winter of last year, and it's one that has been going on forever, I feel. This is a cricket collection, and that is this one here, winter. And I just feel like I've been doing this forever. I don't know. So what I will do is, I definitely have one. Hang on, did I start? Yeah, so this 2020 I started this. Yeah, around December-ish 2020. So I'll have something to show you, 2021. I'm doing it on, it's a piece of fabric by Chromatic Alchemy, and it's called Cumulitis. So this is what you saw last year. And I'm going to use this one. This is where we are today. So it is coming along, you know, I'm chipping away at it, but it's just, I don't know how it's taken over a year to get here. I really don't. And it's actually quite, I feel quite disgusted with myself that it's taken so long. But the thing is for me, there's always something else I actually want to stitch on, and that kind of takes precedence over this. And I literally haven't got much else to do on this. I have only got to do a few of these little sort of ornament-y things to finish to finish the sleigh, and then I've just got some of these. Don't know if you can see. Yeah, there. So there is here. I've got some snowflakes. So I've got a snowflake there and there. I need to do one there. I need to do one there, and I need to do one here. So we're not even talking a lot of work, but I just need to get it done. I just need to sit down and get it done, and that's just what I'm not doing. So it's causing me issues, and I need a drink because I feel like my throat is about to, you know, dry up. The thing is, when I talk a lot, my throat dries up, and then I can't talk anymore. So, going into 2021, again, I'm going to show you exactly what I started. And I had 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I had 12 new starts in 2021. No wonder I can't get anything finished. But I did go back to my very first videos that I actually did. And because I only had like a handful of projects that I was working on, oh my gosh, how boring were they? Literally, there's like 5 projects and you're like, right, see you later guys, bye, I'm done. So for me, I'm always trying to improve my videos. I'm always trying to get my videos more engaging, more interesting. And with that, I think comes that not knowing what projects I've been working on, and you know, what I might kind of throw into the mix, and whether I've got any new starts. So that is coming back to sort of what I'm going to be planning for 2022. So I'll go through what I've got for my 2021 new starts, but I think this is why I have so many new starts of 2021, just because I wanted to sort of make my videos a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to start off with what I have got. I'm not going to do this in any particular order. I'm just going to start with, you know, what comes first on my desk. So the first one is Quick Stitch Peacock Glove, and that's this one. Again, I wanted to start something a little bit smaller. I didn't want a huge Heaven and Earth design. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, but it's some it is some artwork by Josephine Wall, and it's absolutely beautiful. Lots and lots of beautiful colours with this one. I'm doing this one on 18 counts, 2/1. You won't see what I worked on last year because I only, or the year before last, or should I say the beginning of last year, because I've only just started this one. I do have some threads that that have been parked that I need to work in, but I haven't worked on this one yet. So there we go, that's where I'm up to. So that's coming along. I really need to get rid of these threads. Once I've got rid of those threads, then what I can do is I can start, you know, making this neat again, and going back to my parking, and then I will unpark and do all my threads, and then I'll go back to parking. So that seems to be the way in which I am doing things at the moment. You know, working in my threads, and then I'm, you know, sort of making the area neat, and then I'm working in my threads and making my area neat. So what I'm finding is I get the neatness when I've gone back to do the neatness, but I'm also, I feel that if every single project I do, I just do an area, then park a thread, do an area and park a thread, do an area and park a thread, I feel like I don't actually get anything done. So I try now to do a load of park threads and then work in all my park threads, doesn't matter where they are. I won't go any more than one of these squares. So if it's over one of these squares, then I'll end my thread and then, you know, restart it. But I think that is the way that I've actually started picking up some speed on this, because I'm finding that my projects seem to be taking forever. So I'm just going to pop that one on the bed. So that's the first one. Right, the second one is my beautiful bumblebee, and I can't remember who charted this. However, I got it from Etsy. I love bumblebees, and this is really, really beautiful. Again, it was something that I wanted to do as a new start, but I didn't want anything massively huge. I'm doing this one on 28 count 2/2, and this is Sparkle Snow again. And I got that from Wool Warehouse, I believe, but this is where I am now. So we're coming along. I haven't done any of the wings yet, and the body and the legs are work in progress. So that's coming along. I think I am just shy of 50% on that one. But yeah, that's one that I would love to have framed in like a round hoop, and then I can have that sort of, you know, hanging on my wall. I think that would look really nice. The next one is my bookshelf. Where are you? Here we are. So this one is charted by New Dream Stitch. These are some of my favourite books. These are cloth bound classic books by Penguin, and they have all your, you know, your classics. So your Charles Dickens, Thomas Hardy, Jane Austen. Really, really, really beautiful, and I love those books. So I thought that this would be a beautiful project to do, and I'm going to put this in my reading nook when I build one. I'm going to have like a stitchy nook and a reading nook. So it's going to be where I can chill and read and where I can stitch. And I'm doing this one on 18 counts 2/1. Again, this is done on the easy counts, and I started this last year, so I'm not done too badly. So that is where I am now. Again, I'm hoping to at least get down to sort of here for this year. I do appreciate that I've got quite a few projects on the go. But then that's what I love. I love having lots of projects on the go. I don't like just doing one project. It really, really, really does bore me. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you is Ornament. Oh no, actually, first what I will do is Delightful Waltz. Okay, so this one here is charted by Artisy, and I absolutely fell in love with this. I thought it was beautiful. So I started stitching it, and I'm stitching it on 18 counts 2/1. And this one originally was going to be for me. However, one of my friends clocked it and she was like, oh my God, that's really lovely. Can you make me one? So I thought, well, at the time I was toying with the idea of going to sort of 20 count 1/1. And so I said to her, yeah, that's fine. So what I'll do is I'll make this one for her, this 18 count 2/1. And then I'll keep the 20 count 1/1. I think the other one has gone a bit bigger. I didn't realise that they actually did a large chart as well as a regular size chart. So I've got the large chart for me, hence one of the reasons why I'm doing 20 count rather than 18, because I want it to be slightly smaller because it is a much bigger chart. But again, I don't have anything to show you for what I did sort of beginning of last year, because I only started it last year. So this is where we are now. So I've pretty much got one full page done and working on the second page, but for this one I think what I started doing is I started going along the top and then just picking a colour and working it in, picking a colour, working it in, picking a colour, working it in. And then I got sort of to this area here and I thought, okay, well, let me see if I can sort of do a page finish and then do a page finish, do a page finish. And, you know, I haven't quite got there. But I think that is the way that I was doing that. Now I'm just picking a colour, I think, and I'm just going with it. I have got a few parked threads here, but nothing major. Some could just be worked in to make it a little bit tidier, but this is one that I do need to work on. I haven't actually worked on this one for a while, but it's something I need to bring back out, otherwise I'm never going to get it done. It's one of those that, like, if you don't work on it, it's never going to get done. So that is that one. And what I'll do is I'll show you the 20 count when I come to it. I won't pull that out right now, but I've got a few others that I want to show you first. So the next one is a Stitch in Time Ornaments, and this is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and it's artwork by Amy Stewart. So this is part of the bigger A Stitch in Time. This is just like the middle bit, and I thought this is really, really lovely. So I decided to do this one on 18 count 2/1. 18 count was my go-to, and the reason why I wanted to do on 18 count, not 20 count, is because A, I hadn't really even looked at 20 count by then, but B, I did want to go for a bigger project without going to sort of 16 or 14. Yeah, 14 for me is not a go-to, only because for some reason I can't seem to get the right coverage. I don't like working with any more than 2 strands of floss, so for me 18 or 20 is my go-to in all of my projects now, or 28 2/2 or 32 2/2. Right, so this is where I am up to now. So again, I just need to fill in some gaps and then start bringing this down. This is on my WIP Go as well, so if this gets pulled, that should get worked on. I think this is on this month's to do. Because it's a bit smaller, I'm taking it to work, so there is one that I've been doing at work. I've got a few projects that I'm doing at work on my lunch break. One is this one. One is Resistant is Futile, which I will show you. The other ones that you've seen is the Bumblebee and the Peacock Glove. because they're quite small projects and quite compact, I can actually take them to work and do them on my lunch break. So I'm just, you know, again, I'm just using that time to chip away at them. But yeah, because this is quite a small project, this is one that I am going to be chipping away in at work as well. But yeah, it's coming on really, really lovely. Really nice. Love. I really am enjoying doing that. And because it's 18 count, that will look like quite a nice big project, and you'll actually be able to see, you know, see it on the wall. So that's going to go into my stitchy area. There's certain projects that are going to go into my stitchy area, and there's certain projects that are going to go into like on my wall as art. So the Bountiful bookshelf I'm going to put, because I wanted it really, really huge. It's 18 count, and I think I got super size max colour because I'm mad. That is going to go at the bottom of my hallway, just literally there as a centre of attention. Alternative Reality is going to go into my guest room. And what else did I... Twisted Band Sampler, that's going to go in my office because it's a little bit colourful. And Grace Faces is going to go in my stitchy area. The Peacock Glove, I want to put that in my guest room, but in like a photo frame. So basically all of the projects that I buy are either to go in my stitchy nook or they're going to go on my wall as art. And once I've got this house built, which I'm not too sure when it'll be, but we've said that Christmas is going to be, I've got a big Christmas in mind, 2023, so it has to be built by then. Once I've got everything set up, I'll do a room tour, and you'll be able to see all the artwork that's on my wall and where I've put it and things like that. So that's really, really exciting, and that's something to definitely look forward to. The next one is Story Keep Paris. And this is one that you saw earlier, but instead of being on 25 count, this is on 18 count, which is now my go-to for things like story keeps. So this is being done, like I said, on 18 count, 2/1. And this is where I am up to. So again, this is one that's going to be worked on this month. I just need to pull in all of my park threads and just chip away at those percentages on my pattern keeper to just keep it worked and keep going. But obviously there's a lot of confetti in this area, so this area takes absolutely forever. But as we come down, there won't be so much confetti, and I'll actually feel like I'm getting some done. So that's nice. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh, right. So that is that one. I don't know what made me sneeze then. Right. The next one I started in fall this year. I really fancy doing like an autumnal piece. And I saw this on someone posted to Cross Stitch Unlimited and said that they were doing this one. And oh my days, when I saw it, I fell in love. So I was like, I am definitely doing that. So I bought this one in the max colour. This is Gobbler Farm, and it's it's one by Donna Gelsinger, who actually I hadn't until I bought this one had much of her art, but since I bought this, I bought a couple of others of hers as well, and I absolutely love her artwork. But look how beautiful that is. How autumnal is that? That is just stunning. So this is one that I'm going to get completed for my house, and when I decorate for autumn time, and you know when all the autumnal colours come out, and Halloween and things like that, I'm definitely bringing that out for the festive season for fall. So this was one of the first projects that I started on 20 count 1/1, and I absolutely love it. So I'm having to do this one in the Q-snap because it's so long that I don't have a frame, like a a wooden frame big enough, a scroll frame. So I've decided to do this one in a Q-snap, and I've been working on this one for a number of months now. I haven't really got too far, but you know, I've made a mark. So that's where we are. So this is being done on 20 count 1/1, again on this easy count, and I absolutely love it. I love the coverage. I love the fact that all of the crosses sit beautifully next to each other. I love the colours. I just absolutely love working on this one. So I'm looking forward to bringing this one out. This isn't one that's going to be done like seasonally. This is one that's going to be done all through the year. So I look forward to working on that one again. It's just absolutely beautiful. Right. Oops. Okay, so the next one is a quick stitch. Again, I wanted to do another Heaven and Earth Designs project, but I wanted one that wasn't going to be too, that wasn't going to take too long, that wasn't a huge project, that I could probably get through quite quickly. How wrong was I? So this one here is a Sweet Life. It's quick stitch. It's part of the A Stitch in Time, and it's gorgeous. And again, I think I'm going to put that in my, I don't know whether to put that in my guest room or my office. I'm feeling the office because it's so beautiful and colourful, because my office is going to be like a craft room stroke office. It's going to be like a croffice. And I absolutely love this. However, the confetti is mad. It's unbelievable. There is so much confetti. I feel like I can stitch on it for a whole day and get nothing done. So again, this is one that I decided to do on 20 count. And I think this is one of the first ones that I started on 20 count. 1/1. Oh, my nose, I'm so sorry. All right, there we go. So I'm just literally doing the first, this is basically the first page. So I have got some bits to fill in, but I'm working down, and again, I'm just going to be working in these park threads. So I hope to get a lot more of this done by the time I do my next WIP Parade. I mean, this is obviously not going to be completed, but it's one that I am going to be working on throughout the year and just sort of trundling along with, sort of chipping away at it. You know, basically any stitch, any and every stitch is progress, isn't it? So it's one stitch further to getting it completed. So that is that one. The next one I'll show you is, again, this Artisy, the Delightful Waltz. This is the large version. So this one is 444 stitches in width by 515 height. But it's exactly the same. However, this one is being done on 20 counts 1/1. I will show you now. Again, absolutely love working on this one. Because it is so, it's got so many colours in like areas, it's a little bit more blocky. So I actually feel like I get somewhere with this one. So it's not confetti hell. It is actually a really nice project to work on. So I've just at the moment got the browns and the oranges and the greens, and then I'm hoping to start going into some other colours. So this is, like I said, this has been done 20 count 1/1. But look at the coverage, look at the green, isn't it gorgeous? How lovely is that coverage? Really, really, really gorgeous. And again, I'm doing this on with CXC threads, and you know, the crosses just sit beautifully next to each other. There's no issues with anything. I don't have any problem with see-through. It's just really, really nice. For me, I find that it's very streamlined, and that's what it kind of comes out as, being very streamlined stitching. But yeah, 20 count 1/1 that's being done on. The next one is Resistance is Futile. Okay, I am going to have to go and grab that because I've got a feeling it's downstairs. Bear with me 1 second. Right guys, apologise about that. So I completely forgot that I took this one to work last week, and it was downstairs in my work bag. So, Resistance is Futile, long dog sampler, and this is like basically a band sampler, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love working on this one. I get about 60 to 70 stitches done a day when I'm at work, which isn't too bad. Again, it's something, you know, as long as you're chipping away at it, then that's all that matters. So I'm doing this one on 28 count 2/2 in the colourway. So the floss is 917. And it's on Sparkle Snow because I just love that sparkle. So what you notice is most of my, if not all of my samplers are on Sparkle Snow, and that is where I am up to. So I've completed the first band and I'm now on my second band. So yeah, I'm enjoying that one. And this one's going to go in my bedroom because my bedroom's pink. Well, it's pink and grey. So I've got beautiful grey, like dove grey walls, and then I've got like pink accents. That is the plan for my bedroom, my boudoir. And yeah, that one is one that I started once and I'm going to finish once. Sans Souci, unfortunately, has just had a bit of a journey. Okie dokie, almost there. The next one I'm working on is Pink Peonies. Now, this is on a humongous, hang on, frame. It's on an Ornament frame. So I will show you it, but what I do need to do is I do need to stand up. And also I need to get closer because the colours that I've been stitching on so far have been very, very light, so you might not necessarily be able to see it. So this is the one that I'm doing. This is charted by myself. I charted this. I used Threadbare from a picture that I found, and I absolutely love it. And this is going to go on my wall above my bed. And this is 698 stitches in width by 460, and I'm doing it on 20 count 1/1. Right, I am tied up to a microphone, so I don't know how this is going to work. You just bear with 1 second. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm not going to be able to show you it like fully because of the angle, because this is such a big frame, but kind of that's where I am. Hang on, let me see if I can put something behind it. You know what I'll do? I'm going to actually do it the other way. I will show you it this way, not the right way, purely because it's just so difficult to navigate. So think of this turned up the other way around, but there isn't anything to show you, so I might as well just show you like that. 20 count, actually, unless I show you it upside down, I could do that because I've got more angle this way. Okay, there we go. That's all I've done, but it's upside down. But it's not a lot to show you anyway. So going forwards, I think what I'm going to be doing is taking a picture of this and then showing you sort of on a picture rather than actually showing you it because the frame it's on is 110 centimetres, so it's a metre and a bit. So when this is like a corner, so when I am trying to show you it, but I'm working in a corner, it's so difficult. If the work was in the middle, then it wouldn't be so bad, but because the work is at one end at the moment, it's very difficult to navigate to, you know, to get that one end because the frame itself is so big. So I haven't done a hell of a lot on that. I have started that this year. Probably not going to get it done for another 11 years. However, it's only very confetti-ish right in the corner that I'm working in. Once the flowers start coming in, then it should start developing quite quickly because yes, you know, some of the colours they're not blends, but you'll have to make one colour, it'll be like two colours. But with that, you'll have a lot of the same colour, if that makes sense. So what I will end up doing is probably working one thread and then working it down, working a thread, working it down, working a thread, working it down, rather than going through the parking method. I think that's just going to be the easiest way to deal with that. Right, and then my last one, which is the last one of my actual WIPs, is the stocking. This is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Donna Gelsinger is the author, an absolutely beautiful piece. Really gorgeous. So I am doing this one on 20 count, 1/1. However, because it's a stocking, I'm thinking maybe I should have done that on 18 count, 2/1, but I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. So again, for this one, I don't have any previous history. Just going to move that over there. I have a few parked threads, so you'll have to excuse me on this one. And this is where we are so far. So again, we've got some of the sort of greeny blue colours coming in here. We've got a lot of dark green and black, and as we go down, we will hit more of the colours. However, at the moment, we're just working on, you know, a darker palette, but you know, it's coming on nicely. Just need to be start filling in, really, getting it a bit heavier, getting some more stitches in. But again, unless I'm actually physically stitching, there isn't any progress, is there? So I definitely need to work on that. I'm just going to put that down there. Okay, so that is what my WIPs are this year. Just pull down my WIP go. So going forward, my plans were to do basically all the ones in my WIP go and not really start any new projects. However, after watching some people's WIP parades, a lot of people are taking on this 22 projects for 2022. Now, going back to me saying that I want to make my channel more interesting, I want to show you more, I want to be a bit more engaging, a bit more interesting. What better way of doing that than having 22 WIPs? So, my plan is to start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, another 5 WIPs. So I'm just going to go through and show you which ones I've decided to do for this year. So the first one is Sans Souci, which is a long dog sampler that I have started twice. So this will be third time lucky. Now I am still toying with the idea of colour to do on this one. So I haven't fully decided what colour thread that I'm going to do that on. However, I do 100% know that I am going to be doing it on the Sparkle Snow and 32 count 2/2, 100%. I just haven't decided on the colourway yet of the thread. So that is my first new start. The second one I hit on last week when I did my whipping haul, and this is the one that I'm going to be starting. This is a long dog sampler. It's called Crosswords, and this is on my WIP Go. So if I get number 16, if that gets pulled, then I've got to do a full day on that. However, I am planning on doing a full day on that anyway. But this is the colour material. Now I've received it on my WIP. When I did my WIP Parade, I hadn't received my fabric until now. So this is the colour that I've decided to do it. It's like a grey colour. It's called, what is it called? Pearl Grey, I think it's called. Now, it hasn't come out as dark as I expected. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit darker because the colours that I'm using for this are the letters inside. I'm doing 327. Then the external parts of the letters I'm doing in colourway 29, I believe, which is aubergine in AMO. And then all around here, this bit, all the fill-in bit, I'm doing that in 3021, which is like a light purpley colour, light purpley pinky colour. But it's really, really pretty, and it will actually show up really well on this. Now, because this is a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to be, I have actually thought about also doing this in like a pink colourway. So lighter pinks, darker pinks. So like I will obviously have 3 colours. And I actually think that would look really nice on this grey fabric if I had a pink, you know, a pink colourway. But that's just something that I'm going to think about as I'm doing this. And I will see what jumps out at me colour wise, but realistically I've got 22 whips now. When I start these, I can't really have any more whips until I've actually finished something, so I need to finish something first before I start something else, put it that way. So that is that. I've got the threads, they were sent I think Saturday. So they are on their way to me. So I'm hoping that not this week, because this week I'm doing Bountiful Bookshelf for a whole week, because that is what came up on my WIP Go. But next week I should be able to put some threads in my new fabric. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay. The next one that you have seen that I said that I was going to start was Stormy, and this is a Heaven and Earth design, and I had this fabric that I hand dyed myself, and I just wasn't sure what to put on it, and it's like a grey colour, but actually when I'm looking at it I'm thinking, do you know what, Stormy would look really good on that, because it's like a mottled grey. It could be like a, obviously it does look a little bit blue there, but it's not blue, it is grey. Let me see if I can bring up the blue fabric. Okay, so if I show you against this one, so that one's blue and this is grey. So yeah, it does look a little bit bluey, but it is actually grey. It's just difficult to see in this light. But I didn't want it to be too in your face, because what I don't want is I don't want the fabric to take away from the actual thing itself, from the actual design. So I thought that Stormy would look really, really good on that fabric, and it would give it something to, I wasn't really too sure what I could put on it. So I think that's going to be a good plan to put on that, and it's literally perfect size as well. So that's good. Right, the next one that I've decided to do, and this wasn't on my plans on my last WIP and haul, my last video, is, this is one that I bought last month. And again, it's chartered by Heaven and Earth Designs, and I think I'm mad. However, I have actually had a look at this, and there is an awful lot of block colour in this. So although I am starting another big project, which I really didn't want to do, this is 400 stitches by 478. I think this will look really lovely. So it is artwork by Hans Holbein. I'm really sorry if I butchered that name, but I absolutely love this. And I went into my fabric stash to see what I've got. And you know what, I actually wanted to do this one on 18 count as well, because I wanted it to be massive. I wanted it to be a focus point in my house that is like, oh wow, that looks amazing. So I pulled out some 18 count fabric, and this is perfect size. So this is 18 count easy count by Zweigart, and it was just in my stash. It was too small for one of the other projects I was looking at doing, but actually because of the block colour, I thought that this would be a really good one to start, because I feel that I can actually get some decent work on this, and it's not going to take too long to finish. So I've got my threads coming for that one. I've ordered them today, so they should be coming in the next couple of days, which is exciting. And then the last one, the last one that I actually bought, oh gosh, we're going back in the summer now, because I absolutely loved it and I really wanted to start working on it, was the Mirabilia Roses of Provence. Now, two things have stopped me from working on this. One, because the pattern is in, well, is actually on a physical piece of paper, and I am definitely a pattern keeper girl. However, two, I ordered some fabric from Picture This Plus, and after having a long chat with the person that does it, she thought that cobblestone would be the best colour. Now, I wanted like a dusky pink stroke kind of light grey fabric, sort of mottled, not too in depth, just a very beautiful light, almost kissed fabric, which would really accentuate this piece of work, but wouldn't take away from the actual cross stitch project itself, because I think sometimes the fabric can really take away from the actual project if it's really loud. So she sent me this, which is cobblestone, and I absolutely hate it. So it's supposed to be, I said to her, pink, and that's almost come out salmon. It's like the wrong colour pink, but also the mottling is very harsh. So it's like the grey is a very harsh grey. So what I've decided to do is I've ordered myself some more fabric, and what I was originally going to do is I was just going to go over it in a really nice, because I've got my own fabric dye. So originally my plan was to think, okay, well, I can save this, I can just dye it pink, so just chuck it in a jar with some like dusky pink, light dusky pink, pink colour, but the grey is just too harsh. So I'm kind of stuck with that fabric, not really knowing what to do. But what I have done is I've ordered some 28 count fabric, and the reason why I'm doing it on 28 count is because I have spoken to a lot of people who've said that they've done theirs, they did it on 32 and they wish they'd done it on 28 now, because the beading is very difficult on 32 count because it's very close. So I have ordered the normal size beads, so I've decided to go to 28 count. And I think what I'm going to do is, I have seen on YouTube a lady do fabric dyeing, but instead of putting it in a jar, putting all the material in a jar, what she's done is she has just wet some kitchen towel, and she's gone over it and dabbed the fabric itself, and actually that just gives it a very like kissed effect. So I think what I'm going to do is when I get that 28 count fabric, I am going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to make up the colours that I need, and then I am just going to give it a very, very kissed effect. So I'm going to do that next weekend, because hopefully I would have received my fabric by then, which means that on my next WIP update, I should have started this and you'll be able to see my beautiful new fabric, which is really, really exciting. So I'm just going to take the plunge with that one. I mean, if it's a complete fail, then I don't know, I'll just have to rethink. I mean, I got some fabric from 123 Stitch, and it was a picture this plus, and I don't know, if you just bear with, let me see if I can grab it out actually. And it was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, because when I ordered it the first time, I went onto a company's website and I looked at what the stitch count was. And when I went to order it from 123 Stitch, it was fine. Like they didn't do anything wrong. But when I actually got the pattern itself, and I looked at the stitch count on the pattern and thought, oh, that's definitely not what I told 123 Stitch. Well, that's not what I worked out on, I've got like the yarn tree thing on my phone, which tells you what size fabric you need. So you just put your stitch count in and it tells you what size fabric you need. Yeah, so I was thinking, hang on, give me 1 second. Right, okay, I'm back. So I ordered some fabric from 123 Stitch, and it was absolutely lovely. They sent it to me, and it was this one, which is a really beautiful mottling, and I think this is called Sprite, and this is exactly what I needed, and I thought that was perfect. So this size it's 32 count Sprite Lugana, and 17 by 25 that is. So when I've then gone and worked out what my stitch count was, that I actually ordered, it was wrong, because the stitch count that I took off the website, they'd obviously had the wrong stitch count on, so I'd ordered the wrong size fabric. So it wasn't 123 Stitch's fault at all, because they sent me the right size that I asked for. So then I went back through to 123 Stitch and I ordered the right size. And when I received it, this is a very sort of beautiful pinky colour. And it's actually like a really beautiful mottling as well. And when I got the new one from 123 Stitch, it looked like a very dirty pink. I can't really explain it. It was completely different. It wasn't a nice touch of pink. It was like a dirty colour, almost like a brownie pink, and it just didn't look right. So I didn't use it, and I was actually trying to find it, but what I think I have done is I've dyed another piece of fabric. I wanted to see what colour it came out. It came out like proper Barbie pink, so I definitely wasn't using that. But it's such a shame, because this is like a really, really nice colour. Now, I guess what I could potentially do is, and what I might do is go back to 123 Stitch if this 28 count doesn't work out. I might go back to them and order this, but this same colour, but 28 count, and ask them if they'd very kindly be able to pick out a bit that was a bit more pinky rather than like a dirty brown, so more of a pinky colour rather than I don't know, it's very difficult to explain, but I'm sure they've got loads of it there, so they should just be able to, you know, give me a bit that is sort of the right size and the right kind of colour pink. And then that will work beautifully with that piece. So that is basically the end of the WIP Parade, and that is kind of realistically where I'm looking at going this year. Quite excited, really. I've got a lot of new things on the horizon. I've got a lot of things going on this year as well, which is really, really super busy. I love the idea of starting, you know, projects on different fabrics, so that's really nice. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you it's inspired. I hope this has inspired people, you know, to get stitching and to look at different projects. And one thing that I really, really, really love watching WIP Parades for is to see what people are working on. And there was one lady that I was looking at today. What was her name? Because I just literally had her up here. Martini Stitcher, her name. And she is doing like a sampler, like a sing-along sampler, which is what is it? It's from The Sound of Music. And let me just see if I can try and find it, because it was absolutely gorgeous. I think we're a bit too further on from that. Oh, here we go. The do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti. You can either do that in a whole project in one, or you can take like do, re, mi, and they're different elements. And you can either do them separately as different elements. But what I really like the idea of doing is maybe doing it as is one piece, but splitting that one piece, almost like, can you see my window? So I would have like do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, and have like this divide in between the work. I think that might be quite nice, but I'll have to look at it sort of further, you know, to the time. And what I might do is do, instead of having it all on one piece of material, one piece of fabric, I might actually do each element separately, and then put them together as like one full piece. I don't know. I'm kind of toying with the idea, but I have been massively enabled by seeing that, and I really want to get another. I just really want to buy it, but at the moment I've got enough WIPs. I've got 22. I don't need to be buying something else. It's going to be a massive nightmare trying to, you know, work out the colourway anyway, because I definitely want to change the colourway. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love the colourway that it brings out, but I think something that is a bit more in keeping with the aesthetics of my house, maybe, without making it too samey. But yeah, so it's something I'm thinking about, but I certainly do need to get some work done first, and some more progression, and certainly some more finishes. So that is me. Thank you so much if you've like hung along to the end, thank you so much for hanging on. If you like what you see, just press the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you'll be notified when any of my new projects or my new videos come up for my new projects. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for joining me on my stitchy journey. It's been really lovely having you along, and it's been really nice being able to see how many people actually watch the videos, because I actually feel like, you know, people are interested with what I've got to say, which is great. So thank you so much, guys. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is you're doing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.